It's time for the Real Estate Show on Sonoma County's news station, News Talk 1350, KSRO. Now, here's the man whose three favorite words are location, location, location. Mike Kelly on News Talk 1350, KSRO.
Good morning, Sonoma County. Mike Kelly. It is the Real Estate Hour, heard every Sunday morning right here on the News and Talk of Sonoma County. Where are we? KSRO 1350. And we are good. Always good to know where you are. Okay, that's always a good thing. And Tony Esposti is in studio today. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning, Mike.
And you're with Old Republic Exchange Facilitators, right? Arexco, and she has been doing this for an eternity. And she looks like she's, 24 years old. We're actually filming today. We have Alan Fitch here with Pacific Clearstream Media. And Alan will be posting these onto YouTube and some putting onto our blog. And if you wish to go to the blog today, you can check out some very interesting articles we've posted on there. One is this gorgeous photo of Tony in this formal outfit. Where was that shot?
Oh, at a lovely home in the hills of Tiburon.
Boy, that looks like a hills of Tiburon, yeah. But great shot of Tony, and Tony is our exchange expert. We've had her on the show before, and the reason we're filming Tony today is because the information we have with exchanges seems to be fairly constant. You don't have the changes we have every other minute when it comes to residential or something of that nature, especially interest rates, underwriting, this type of thing. So the IRS guidelines are pretty I'm not going to say etched in stone, but they don't alter that much, do they?
Not much.
Not much. So that's why we have Tony here, because her information is going to be something you can look as a resource, go back to. So we're going to be breaking down this hour into different segments. We will be posting it onto YouTube, and Alan Fitch is really, really expert at doing that. And we will also put it on our blog, and you can go to the Real Estate Hour. Let's see, what is it, Joe? The realestatehourblog.com, right? I always get that confused. The realestatehourblog.com, and you will find Tony's lovely countenance there. And also you'll be seeing some information we posted regarding Money Magazine's the top appreciating city, Tony, for this coming year is Santa Rosa, of the entire nation. And
you were surprised?
I was. Was I surprised? Of course I was. But they don't tell you anyway how they came up with this. So I figured they have two darts. They have two tables. Okay, they have the cities and they have the appreciation. They kind of go, and there goes 6%. They go, and there goes Santa Rosa. So so that's, I don't know how they came up with it, but it's an interesting number. But 6%, it's kind of like a yawner kind of number, like 6%. But I guess, in this market, that's good.
Well, I think average is 4%.
Is that right? Yeah.
Average, if you look over a number of years.
Over an eternity, it comes out about 4%, right? Right out of the Dow Jones, like one of those things. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but when you look at where we've come from, it'll be an interesting step up. So that's fun, and you can check out the blog there. And also, we have two $10,000 tax credits. The state of California last year did it with the new construction. Of course, they're going to do it for new construction, Tony, a $10,000 tax credit, and it's paid out over the course of 3 years. But can they build houses as cheap as the resales? That's the big question. I mean, they're talking about giving somebody a new home tax credit, but are they building any new homes? But I guess there's kind of a delay. You can get approved for it now, and when they finish building the house, you can get your tax credit. So I think they're hoping that people will be putting down reservations on homes that aren't quite built yet, so the builders can actually have incentives to go ahead and build some new houses. But they have to have the land cheap enough to compete with the resale market, which is real cheap nowadays, as we know in our county. And we're not as cheap as, say, Sacramento County or Solano or Vallejo and all this. That's where Vallejo is. But what else would it be? Solano County, Sacramento County, help me out.
Modesto.
Thank you all. Modesto County. Yeah, so the inner valleys where the land is really cheap out there. So we shall see about that. But that's kind of a good thing. And then there's a different quirk on it, is there's a $10,000 first-time homebuyer credit, which is kind of interesting. So that'll be going, because what happens on the April 30th is that the Fed stops their tax credit for first-time homebuyers and move-up homebuyers, and the state of California starts May 1st. So you can't double dip, you guys. Sorry, we've already had people ask about that. No double dipping going on, okay, with the Fed and the state. But so that'll be interesting to see what happens. But go to the blog, check that out. If you have any questions, our call-in number, 636 1350, 636-1350. And we have no dumb question at gmail.com. That comes right into my lovely little BlackBerry. Here's my BlackBerry, Alan. And we have, I'm a little Crackberry addict right now, so you can go to no dumb question at gmail.com if you don't want to call in. All you scaredy cats out there don't want to talk to Mr. Pasquini. Can we get a shout at Joe Pasquini? People always say, what does this guy look like? No. Joe, turn around, look at the camera.
They don't say that.
Yes, they do. They go, what does this guy Joe Pasquini look like? Well, there's Joe Pasquini. So he's a sports guy here on KSRO. And when do you do the prep stuff? You do it on Wednesdays and Fridays?
No, Monday and Friday.
Like I said, Monday and Friday.
6:48.
6:48
with Curtis.
With Curtis, great, good. And
the most important part of the week of the news show.
Well, of course it is. And but did you lose any money on the Sweet 16 yet?
No, not yet. West Virginia, hanging in there for me.
Okay, there you go. Sounds good. Okay,
but I'm rooting for Butler.
Yeah, Butler. Yeah, that's a great story. Yeah, you got to have one of those fairy tale stories. And so we shall see what happens with that. Now, let's just start talking about exchanges. We're going to take a little break here, but first I want to kind of, Tony, give us your background. You've been doing this, and you only, I mean, she's so, when you see the film, or you swear to God she's only 32, but she's been doing this for 30 years, and I don't know how she does that, but.
I think that's the only way you can get me up this early.
That's right.
Is all your flattery.
Massive compliments here. Massive compliments.
He never gives me any.
Well, they just saw your picture, so come on. What are you going to do?
Good comparison.
Thank you, Jeff.
So my background has been that I've been in the industry for going on 39 years now.
Holy Toledo. Man, I thought I was in the market for a long time.
I know.
When did you start? You had to start when you were like 15 or something.
That must have been it.
It had to be it.
So I was 30 years in escrow,
right,
handling transactions, managed a company, and focused on commercial transactions.
Right. And
then about 9 years ago, I transitioned into strictly doing qualified intermediary work for tax-deferred exchanges.
Right, okay. And now tax-deferred exchange, and people need to, it's not tax-free. And people always make that mistake. They always think it's tax-free, and it's just tax-deferred. You're just kind of kicking the tax down the road, aren't you?
Well, you're kicking the tax down the road, but one of our irreverent phrases is swap till you drop.
Swap till you drop.
Exactly.
Exchange phrase, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and this is something where if you exchange and kick the gain forward, at some time down the road, if somebody expires unexpectedly, then there's a step up in basis to current market value for the heirs,
right,
which could mean they could sell the property at virtually little to no gain.
Right. So you start, I mean, obviously you're talking about really cheap dollars because you've started at, some people have been exchanging for years, and they've got to the point now where they deferred massive gain in their property values. Even granted what happened in the last 5 years, there's still other people have been exchanging for years.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And there's still people that have tremendous equities in their property that, especially where you're from. You're from Marin County. That's where you're based out of. I mean, you're talking about that house in Tiburon. That house in Tiburon did not take that big of a hit, and in this marketplace. Okay, the Marin County is notorious for its stability as far as their prices are concerned.
It's been relatively flat in a lot of areas,
and
the higher end has had their run now in the slower marketplace.
Yeah.
So it's well known for its stability, and I think it will always remain that way because there's just a small amount of property available.
Right.